If you think the creator economy peaked with ChatGPT writing your video scripts, well, you might want to sit down for this one.
Chuckles, yeah.
We're looking at a report on the Agentic Economy for 2025 to 2026, and the big headline is, the synthetic studio era is here.
It really is. And the core argument isn't just about AI making more content, It's about creators finally escaping that burnout trap.
Okay, so we're moving past augmentation.
Exactly. We're moving from augmentation, where you use AI to write faster, into full autonomy. It's a huge shift where the software doesn't just assist, it actually executes.
That distinction feels crucial. I think most people still see AI as like a passive tool. You open a window, you type a prompt, you get a result.
Right.
But this report says we need to stop thinking tool and start thinking teammate. So what's the actual technical leap that turns a chatbot into an agent?
It's the move from passive to active. A standard LLM, it has no memory, it just waits for you to drive. An agent, on the other hand, operates on a goal.
Okay.
And the big technical difference is what developers call the loop.
Right, the circular workflow.
Yeah. An agent perceives its environment, it reasons about what to do, it acts usually by triggering an API, and this is the most important part, it iterates.
So if something breaks, it doesn't just stop.
Exactly. If an API fails, a normal script crashes. An agent sees the error, it adjusts its approach, and it retries. You go from being an artisan, handcrafting every pixel, to being an executive producer.
An executive producer managing a digital workforce.
That's it.
So let's apply that mindset to a real workflow. The report details the tube to TikTok pipeline, which I found fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's a game changer.
Automated clipping isn't new, but the agentic approach seems completely different.
It's night and day. The report outlines a stack using tools like NEN or Make that just runs on its own. It starts with a watcher node.
So the second you upload a long-form video to YouTube, it just wakes up.
It wakes up. And instead of just chopping it up randomly, it triggers an analysis agent.
And that reads the transcript, looking for viral hooks, right? High sentiment moments.
Correct. And once it finds them, it hands off to a production agent. That agent physically clips the video and even uses computer vision to crop it to 9.16, keeping the speaker centered.
And then a polishing agent adds the captions and hashtags.
You got it.
The volume implication there is just massive. A human editor burns out after finding, 3 good clips? This thing extracts every viable clip?
That's the yield maximization. It creates a volume of assets a human physically wouldn't have the energy to make.
Okay, but let's talk about the back end, because this is where the agentic promise gets a little complex. The report talks about agents handling negotiation and even legal review. I mean, are we really trusting AI to read contracts now?
Well, according to the use cases here, yes. There's a legal review agent designed to scan contracts for specific red flags, things like perpetual usage rights or terrible payment terms like Net90.
So it's acting like a junior lawyer on retainer, first pass filter.
And on the other side, you have AI negotiators that can actually haggle rates with sponsors. But I think the trend hunter agents are even more impactful for daily work.
Okay, what do they do?
Instead of you doom scrolling for ideas, these agents monitor Google Trends and Reddit 24/7. They're looking for narrative gaps.
So it moves you from ideation, staring at a blank page, to just selection.
Exactly. It populates your Notion content calendar for you. You just log in and pick the winner.
This brings up the big question, though. If the AI is researching, editing, negotiating, what's left for the human to do? Are we just the bottleneck?
Not at all. The report calls this the Cyborg creator model. You use agents for the process, but you keep the product, your face, your voice, your unique perspective, strictly human.
So the barrier to success stops being about effort and starts being about curation.
Precisely. You become the arbiter of taste. Your value is in deciding what is good enough to publish, not in the manual labor of cutting the file.
That is a huge psychological shift. And before we close out, there was one concept at the end of the report that really stood out to me: agent optimization.
AEO. Yeah, it's a fascinating thought.
It really is. We're all obsessed with SEO optimizing so humans can find us.
But in this agentic future, digital assistants are going to be doing the shopping and the researching for their humans.
So creators won't just be convincing people anymore.
No, you'll be optimizing your content so that AI agents choose you. You're convincing the algorithm that then convinces the human.
That is definitely a future to keep in mind as these tools evolve. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll see you next time.